Parents, you're doing everything right for your child's immune system. The elderberry, the vitamin C, the probiotics, the clean eating, the organic, everything. And yet, here we are again with another cold, another ear infection, another sleepless night, wondering what you're missing. Here's what your pediatrician's not telling you, but you're not failing as a parent, and your child isn't just a sick kid, and it's not their normal. I'm Dr. John, and here at Haven Family Chiropractic and Katie, I specialize in the cases that make other doctors shrug their shoulders and say, let's wait and see. Kids who are sick 6, 8 times since September, kids whose immune systems seem completely broken. But here's the truth, the immune system isn't broken, it's stuck. And I want to show you what's really happening inside your child's body right now. You see, your child's nervous system controls everything. Their immunity, their digestion, their emotions. It's the air traffic controller for the entire body. And when that nervous system gets stuck in what we call fight or flight mode, like the body is stuck on the gas pedal with no ability to hit the brake, the immune system shifts into the wrong mode. You can think about it like a castle that needs defending, right? In a healthy immune response, or let's get real sciencey, what we call the Th1 mode. The guards of the castle, they're strong and they're active. They leave the castle walls and go fight the enemy before they even get close. So that's a fever that burns through an infection in 24 to 48 hours. That's a productive cough that gets the junk out, or a runny nose that's flushing the germs away. Sometimes it looks scary, but it's effective. The body fights and then it wins. But when the nervous system is stuck in stress mode, stuck in what we call Th2 mode, those castle gates are wide open. The guards are exhausted, they're not paying attention, letting germs just walk right up in and set up camp. That's the low grade fever that hangs on for a week. That's the cough that never seems to go away, or the congestion that absolutely never clears, or those ear infections that keep on coming back. But this is what most parents, and even really educated, naturally minded parents, make a critical mistake. When your child finally does mount a fight, when they get that fever, that productive cough, that runny nose, what do most of us do? We panic. We give a fever reducer, a cough suppressant, a decongestion. And now your child looks better temporarily. The fever drops, the cough goes away. But here's what actually just happened. You took them out of the fighting Th1 mode and pushed them into that suppressive side of the immune system, the Th2. You literally told their body to stop fighting the germs and let them stay. And that's why instead of lasting 2 to 3 days, it lasts 2 to 3 weeks. That's why weeks after finally clearing one ear infection, another one starts, right? The body never actually fought and won, it just suppressed the fight. So here's what we got to do different. And this is what we do at Hayden Family Chiropractic. We don't chase the symptoms. We don't just throw more supplements at the problem. We actually dive deep to address the root cause, that stuck on stress nervous system. So using the insight scans, we can actually see where your child's nervous system is stuck in stress mode. We can measure the interference that's keeping them in that suppressive immune state. And then with specific and neurologically focused chiropractic care, the gentle and precise, but nothing like what you're picturing with adults, right? We help shift the nervous system from that gas pedal back to the brake pedal. So from that suppressive Th2 side of the immune system back to the Th1 fighting side of the immune system. But this is what happens when we actually remove that stress and interference. The nervous system can actually regulate again. The immune system is able to coordinate properly, right? Those guards are on guard for that fight. The body does what it's designed to do, fight effectively and win quickly. But then suddenly those chronic ear infections stop coming back. The perpetually runny nose finally clears up, and your child goes months without getting sick instead of being sick every few weeks. But when they do encounter those germs, their body fights it off, sometimes in a day or two instead of 2 to 3 weeks. Now, you might be wondering, how did my child's body and their nervous system get stuck in the first place? Because it's usually not just one thing, it's what we call the perfect storm. Now, It starts with prenatal stress because the umbilical cord is not just for nutrients and waste removal, it's the direct connection between mom's brain and nervous system and baby's brain and nervous system. And with the stress, the fear, and the anxiety that's being placed on moms, babies feel everything that moms feel. And then birth trauma is what compounds it because even in a normal, natural vaginal delivery, we're putting 40 to 90 pounds of pressure on baby's head, neck, and spine. And then early life, especially when we start talking about antibiotics before age 2, they nuke the gut microbiome where 70% of the immune system lives and where 70 to 80% of our neurotransmitters, the cool chemicals that help us focus and learn and regulate, that all lives within the gut. But antibiotics destroy that from the get-go. And then there's chronic stress, right? Going from pregnancy that we talked about, stacking through infancy and early childhood. Each stressor is like a weight that's being placed on your child's nervous system. There's one weight, and then another, and eventually it's too much. The brain, the body, the nervous system gets overwhelmed and it gets stuck in that protective stress mode. And that's when you start to see things piling up: the chronic sickness, the sleep problems, the developmental delays, the behavioral challenges. But it all traces back to that perfect storm overwhelming the nervous system, and oftentimes before they take their first breath. And this is the key that changes everything because you're probably already doing the right things, just in the wrong order. Think about it like baking a cake because we can have all the right ingredients, the flour, the eggs, the sugar, all of it. But if we just put it all into a bowl, stir it all up, throw that bowl into the oven, get it out, and then put icing on top, we didn't just make a cake, right? We just made a big old mess. It's disgusting, but it's the same ingredients, but just the wrong order. And it doesn't work. And that's what's happening with your child's health right now. All of those supplements and the remedies can't work if the foundation is off. If their nervous system is stuck in stress mode, nothing else can work properly. Because the sequence that actually works is this: first, it's the nervous system. You get it unstuck and functioning and regulating properly. Second is where sleep starts coming on board, the deep, restorative, healing sleep that's necessary for our immune system. Third is movement, because movement is what builds our brains and builds our immunity. Because our lymphatic system, the big part of our immune system, doesn't have a pump like the cardiovascular or our heart does. So we need movement to actually influence that part of the immune system. And fourth is the nutrition. This is the building blocks for health, for our immune system. But then and only then do all of those supplements and the natural remedies start to work beautifully because now the foundation is there to support them. So you fix the foundation first, and then everything else falls into place. So, parents, listen, your child's not broken, and they're not just a sick kid. It's not something that you have to accept and live with. They're stuck, and there is a way forward. And I've seen it hundreds of times right here in Katy. Kids who are sick every single month, who go 6, 8, 10 months without getting sick at all. Or kids that were on their 8th round of antibiotics, scheduled for tubes and tonsils and adenoids, right? Who haven't had a single ear infection in over a year. It wasn't by luck or by chance. It happened because we removed the interference. We created the balance and regulation. We got their nervous system unstuck, and their body did what it's designed to do, to be self-healing and self-regulating. If you're ready to stop chasing those symptoms and actually address the root cause, here's what I want you to do: call the office. Mention that you watched the video about kicking the sick or raising healthy kids naturally. We're going to get your child's nervous system scanned so you can see exactly where they're stuck. And then we'll show you the specific roadmap to get them unstuck and thriving. Because your child deserves to thrive and not just survive. And let's make that happen together.